The Sternguard are amongst the most elite of the Emperor's angels. They are specialists, deployed to hold a wavering battle line. With their infallible discipline and unwavering bravery, they face even unlikely odds, calmly and prevail through their mastership over their weapons. The Sternguard's usual arsenal consists of the highest quality bolt guns available. They are especially known for employing combi bolters, impressive weapons that might be hard to handle for less trained fighters, but afford them a flexibility unheard of by other squads. Ramus is a veteran of many wars. He is taciturn by nature, preferring to observe the field of battle and assess the situation before acting. When he does speak, his words reveal keen tactical insight and wisdom, and his brother Space Marines have total confidence in his leadership. Did you ever ask yourself who the best Imperial ranged 3 shooter is? Move over, Thaddeus. You aren't exactly shooting, are you? Here's a new contender, and I might add, a possible winner. Ramus is a rare character, but interestingly still released during the Battle Pass starting August 2nd. Dark Angels have always been a bit special with releases. The free Battle Pass will earn you 20 of the 130 shards needed. The Premium Battle Pass will get you 90 shards, 40 short of unlocking him. The Ultimate Pass, for €25, will get 160 shards total, unlocking him and allowing for an upgrade. You can also get him for free along the Tacticus Board Game that Games Workshop releases. Yeah, a board game based on a game based on a board game. Strange times we're living in, but I'm absolutely hyped for it. Well, Ramus is a Sternguard veteran. I personally lack some visual interest in most basic Space Marines. He should also really change his barber. At least, he has an augmented eye and a big combi melter to set him apart. Also, I hear him saying boom when he shoots. He doesn't, I know, but it's kind of funny. As uninteresting as I find his visuals, his kit is quite interesting. Let's jump in. Ramus has the standard move of 3 and can equip a crit and a defensive equipment as well as a crit booster. Defensively, well, he's a Space Marine. His health is slightly below average on one level with Chiron and Tangida, for example. His armor, however, is slightly above average on a level with Baldur and Forkas. That's definitely serviceable defenses. The Combi Melter definitely has a combination of attacks going on. I'll have to mention the passive now immediately, as his special issue Combi Melter makes every of his attacks unique. In melee, he deals extra damage. That ability factored in, his at first unassuming melee attack comes a lot closer to average. But the excellent 75% Melter Pierce ratio lets him excel without and especially with his passive. Rank 4 for melee damage on a shooting unit, that's crazy. But as you've seen in the comparison, you will definitely need to invest in the passive. Getting back to that, at range 3, he will suppress enemies. But at range 2, he will deal a second hit of bolter damage, comparable to his normal damage. The range 3 hit, somewhat below average. The range 2 hit, 5th best shooter against no armor. Against high armor, the 20% bolter pierce of course drops him off. At high range, it is quite negligible. The passive brings us closer to average. He's an Overwatch character, so should you not be able to get a shot off or don't want to shoot at range 3, you can probably trust the AI to just run into your shot. Now, we add in the active. Might seem strange, but he can use Fire Discipline every 3 turns, so it will come up often. And if he's next to a Dark Angel, it immediately resets, firing up that bad boy every round. Just because you stand next to an immovable Barakiel is amazing. It lets you shoot at 90% of your damage stat to a limit set by your ability level, counting as a normal attack. This means it triggers the passive too, which is not restricted. That's as close as doubling his attack as it gets. And you can of course choose 2 targets, or you just shoot one, stop, and go into Overwatch. And oh man, is the damage crazy. Here's what it looks like if you focus both shots on one enemy. In melee, you're suddenly place 4, better than Titus with a melee attack you can potentially use every turn. Against high armor, it's not even close to space 2. Suddenly, shooting at range 3 is considerable against low armor. Against high armor, it still falls pretty flat. At range 2, for low armored enemies, Ramus shoots up to place 1, while even against high armor, with the low pierce ratio he gets to place 3, better than Barakiel. This guy is a menace and has enough bulk to actually fire his shot. Ramus has the tools for every job. Have an enemy encased in armor? Go close. No enemy around you? Suppress them. Shut down that reverse and ammo spec. Low armor? Range 2 shots will delete them. Cheesing ability missions often takes Barakiel either way, so taking Ramus can make that even faster. Although he might be too trigger happy with his Overwatch to not kill Crots too fast. But the ability to do it at range and close up gives him a lot of flexibility using abilities on Scarab Swarms. I am scared of him in Faction Tournament Arena. Heck, even in normal Tournament Arena he could be dangerous. In campaigns, he can help out well too. As there's currently no serious ranged meta guild raid team and he doesn't enable other ranged fighters, I don't see him fitting in the guild raids team at all. For Guild Wars, however, a dangerous Overwatch character is a good pick. Just be sure, if you face him, to have someone end up in range 3 to catch his Overwatch and not closer. Ramus will probably also not be too sought after for legendary events, as to be most effective, he needs another Dark Angel, and otherwise he'll just kill a second enemy every 3 turns. The one hit requirement isn't as rare as it once was, and the higher max hit counts are a dime a dozen. Other than that, Ramus only has Bolter, which he fits in nicely but isn't really needed, Melter, which isn't possible, and, should that ever happen, Overwatch, which would make him necessary for a non-Xenos track. I'm going to be honest, Ramus seems great. He has record-breaking damage, high range, is flexible. I want to like him. But there's not much more for him to do, other than support you in the campaign and being fun in arena. For leveling, I feel like he's not necessary for any roster, but you can build him if you like him. The passive is massive and should be leveled along, while the active is nice to have, but situational, and you will still get a lot of mileage out of using the active if your passive is leveled high enough. I really like that the Dark Angels have a distinct identity and synergies with each other that most factions don't have. What do you think of him? Will you buy a battle pass to get him? Thank you for watching this far. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please subscribe to this channel and like the video, so we can reach the 6,000 subscribers soon for a celebration code. If you haven't used the friend code yet, you can use mine. Bad60edu for 100 Blackstone for you, and various rewards for me, depending on milestones you reach. Thank you all for your support. Now for the Mythic content. Ramus can equip the Relic Bolt pistol, and while he may utilize both the melee as well as the ranged buff to some effect, he won't profit too much. The extra 5% pierce in melee isn't really needed with this great pierce, and at range, with usually 1 hit and 2 hits at max, the extra crit damage will only ever be able to affect those few hits. Still, at least he's a character that will use both effects regularly. For the Mythic missions, we start with one annoying one. Defeating 3 enemies that are suppressed will be hard, as you need some friends to make this happen. It's not even that hard. If you, for example, have a low-level Burkhardt, you can suppress 3 enemies like Crots or Orc Boys in the Octarius Mirror campaign. As Ramus can only kill 2 enemies a turn, you'll have to rely on someone fleeing. But if your Burkhardt is a high level, that's a problem. You get some suppression from other characters, but having them so weak that they don't kill the battle-fatigued enemies is a problem. I think using Asmodai is the intended design here, as he can prompt a third shot from Ramus without dealing damage himself, and suppresses the enemy in question. But that still leaves you wanting for the other two suppressions without killing. In a pinch, you'll have to go to Arena, find a Snotflogger, let the Grots multiply, and need a team of suppressing friends. At least the Malios rocket launcher might help here. If you have a better idea, please let me know. Mission 2 is dealing 15,000 damage, which you can rack up quite easily with them. The best enemies for those high damage missions are always in guild raids. Buffing power doesn't work too well with the little hits Ramus has, but attacking the enemy first with Vitruvius to get an extra hit from Ramus, which works for the active as well as for the normal attack, will benefit him. But you can of course sprinkle in more extra damage by Kalgar, Thaddeus and the like. Shadow Sun can add an extra ranged hit. Thoriat could add an extra melee hit, depending on the boss's armor. Mission 3 needs 40 ability uses, which you can do quite fast in levels with the spawning enemies and the help of a second Dark Angel. Mission 4 is fun, essentially needing you to kill one follower of each of the Dark Gods. The only one of those you can just find in campaigns and fight with Ramus there are Bloodletters in Fall of Cadia Mirror. Apart from that, you will most likely find them as extra fighters from guild raid bosses and in Arena. Keep your eyes open and you can do it. The only faction without summons available is the Emperor's Children, which you definitely need to find in Arena. Mission 5 needs you to do damage with the melee as well as the ranged attack, but with the damage Ramus can do, it shouldn't be a problem. So that's it. I hope you liked the video. Thank you all for watching, maybe watch some more stuff if you like, and have a fantastic day.